it boils down to, for me, is the need to fight for the connection of human spirit. But I feel like that's what we're in danger of losing. And that's what we are butting up against right now. Is it's fooled us into thinking that we're connecting, and we're not.
Are we learning to connect in a different way? My favorite and most recommended book that nobody's ever going to read because it's 700 pages, The Empathic Civilization by Jeremy Rifkin. And he traces the history of how humans have empathized with each other. Initially, we were in tribes, right? You know, we lived in our own little area in a tribe, and we only empathized and related to the people in our tribe, to the point where we were essentially frightened of people in other tribes. Circle of empathy and the way we had to connect with our what's called mirror neurons. The community was smaller. And then we developed technologies that allow us to annihilate space and time, and that is in the form of written word. And we could empathize a little bit more. And so cities started to develop in agrarian economies. And the amount of people that we said, we're all citizens of this city, we speak the same language, we write in a similar way, we all take place in this economy. And then we developed ways to have transportation and to connect with people at an even larger scale when we got a printing press and steam power. And so now we're empathizing across an entire nation. At the same time, people were saying, this is the end. I don't know how we're going to survive this. The kids today are a mess. I don't know how we're going to survive this. The telegraph and then eventually radio and TV, we could broadcast to many. And now we could, in real time, communicate essentially across the globe. But it was a one-to-many. The people that controlled the broadcasts could communicate, but the average person couldn't. We were just consumers. We consumed TV, consumed radio, and that changed everything. And the energy system and transportation with airplanes and trains, all that changed how we interact. And two things come about with all of those. Everyone says, well, we're going to have world peace. And some people say this is the end every time that happens. And the same thing now with what's happening with the internet and new media, and now new energy and new transportation. We're in that transition period where it's chaos. Again, people are doing what we've always done in this transition period. People are saying this is going to bring about world peace. And other people are saying this is the end. Clay Shirky predicted at a keynote I went to at South by Southwest in 2010 or 2011. Based on what we've seen in history, I predict we're going to have about 50 years of chaos. So us and our kids are living through this transition period where we're learning how to essentially speak a new language and empathize with each other at global scale in real time, to feel each other's pain. And it's terrifying because we don't know how to freaking do it. You know, is it bad? I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. Like the Zen master said, we'll see. You know, apart from just your initial survival, I need to eat, I need to not die physically. What's the primary drive? What's the most important instinct that humans seem to have? And what he says is, beyond that, the strongest instinct we have is to be connected to each other, to have community. And so that's why this hurts right now, because apart from just everyday survival, the most core instinct that we have as humans is being renegotiated in evolution. So we don't know what the fuck is happening.
The word play, you know, where I think that at the heart of that is where beautiful community begins, like it begins and ends, like in play more around the creative side of things where you're bantering, and a huge part of the secret sauce in that is humor.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right on. We can all connect on that.
Yeah.
He brings that up. He quotes Schiller, who says, man is only fully human when he plays. It's the most important thing we can do that separates us from the animals, is that we play or we recreate or we recreate. It's the most important connection we have. So when we go to that, you know, our strongest drive apart from immediate survival is to connect. The way we connect differently than animals is we play. All those other things are secondary, and they come into being when we aren't playing. You know, we're not recreating. We're not sitting down for a meal together. We're not sitting down watching a movie together. We're not talking. We're not walking. We're not experiencing, and just being together and trying to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. We're trying to figure out how to do that right now. And sharing TikToks on Instagram is one way to do it. Let's keep doing it. We got to figure this out.
No, but so
what we're doing with AI and robots, it should free us up. We should be working less, not working harder, and we should be able to enjoy that play. And that's the future I look forward to. Maybe it's pie in the sky, but that's what we should be doing. So anything short of hoping for that and trying to move towards that is stupid in my mind.